Listen, people, tonight we are extremely excited. We have the $100,000 income earners over a 12-month period for double FEP qualifiers. We have qualified agents. We have them on the call tonight, and they are going to talk to you this evening about kind of what sets them apart, why they are the individuals that are on the $100,000 list in the 12-month period. You know, it can be done. We have one guy on here that's just an executive director, and he's a $100,000 income earner. So it can be done. You just have to really dedicate yourself. Every single person on this call really worked hard to get there. Steve, why don't you tell them about FEP, just to kind of remind them what FEP was all about, and then we'll jump into the first.
And I think you'll see tonight how important this really starts to become as we go through these numbers with you tonight. This really becomes important. You'll start to see the kind of business that we're doing and why there's going to be interest. We have no doubts. Now, we can't sit here and say we guarantee you. Look, we have no doubts. There's going to come a point in time where we're going to have people that want to take a look at us, okay? Level one, if an agent earns $50,000, or once they earn $50,000 in income within their first 12 months, they then qualify to start accumulating FEP points, okay, field equity points from that point forward. There's a difference between accumulating points and being awarded the points, okay? When you're awarded the points, that means you now have those points. They are your points. They are your points forever, okay? So, but once you make 50,000, you can start accumulating. Well, my boy's okay over here. You can start accumulating those points. So if you hit 100,000 in the first 12 months, you're going to have accumulated those points along the way, and then they'll be awarded to you, okay? So to have those points awarded, the agent then must hit 100,000 income within a rolling 12-month period, but no later than their first 24 months, or they will forfeit all previously accumulated FEPs from the 50,000 income and above, okay? You won't have lost all your points if you've done 100,000, but if you do it after the first 24 months, you just don't get those that were accumulating after 50,000 income.
Okay. So second level, or level two.
On level two, if an agent earns 100,000 in commissions during their first 12 months that they're in the company, they will be awarded points retroactive to their first day of their 12-month start date, and their FEPs, field equity points, will be doubled. So in the first 12 months that you're with the company, you make 100,000 income, we will double the points that get awarded to you. That's a huge, huge deal. So your 12 months start from the latter of April 1st, 2020, or on your personal start date, whenever that is.
So this is a huge deal. This would be if we got an offering or an investor or somebody along those lines that came in, whatever they did. The idea behind this is whatever that net is, 50% of that's cut and that's delivered to the field, and that's done in like pro rata for how much production you've done.
Yes, and we take, somebody comes to us with $100 million, okay? We're going to take 50% net, because there's business charges and things. We're going to take 50% net. That's going to be dedicated to the field, and based on like you said, on a pro rata share of your income, you will receive that percentage of those dollars.
Yep.
That happens.
And so that's what we're going to be looking at this evening. We're going to be hearing from the $100,000 income earners. We're going to pull up some individual stats, and I'm just going to jump right into the game. And this does take a little bit of orchestration because I need to find the individuals on there. All right, so Mr. Jeff Hatcher and Miss Debbie Johnson, would you mind going ahead and unmuting? And Debbie, Debbie's over there. So do I have both of you, Debbie and Jeff?
Yes, you do.
I'm here.
All right, fantastic. Okay, listen, Debbie and Jeff Hatcher have been with us for a little while. They've been with us for a little over a year now, and they've done an excellent job with BDT Marketing Solutions out of Eugene, Oregon. And Jeff and Debbie operate as a team, and we wanted you to know that Jeff and Debbie, for this, in that 12-month period, they earned $103,000 of income. Their FEP points that were awarded were 1,042,109 points. But here's something that I ran across. We're going to start running this report, and this to me just kind of blew me away when I started looking at these numbers.
Their current rank is Senior Executive Director. Now, this number here, total debt, I haven't even discussed this with Debbie and Jeff, and what this number represents is every deal that you all have written for a client and you ran an analysis. If the deal was sold and the debt was loaded to the program, this represents your team's total debt that they have loaded into active Money Max account programs. What do you think of that, Jeff and Debbie?
Wow. I like the next part better. The
Now, the next one is your clients and your team down with that debt load have currently paid off $3,218,196 of principal debt reduction. If anybody ever asks, are we doing any good? Are you doing any good? Is your team doing any good? I think these are numbers you can be extremely proud of, and we're going to see some monstrous numbers as we keep going. So, Def and Jebby, that's
pretty good.
Jebby. I think I'm going to keep that. Okay, so Jeff and Debbie, tell them what it is that you all do, why your organization is so special, what it is that you do that's different or special or that you adhere to that's helped you achieve this type of success.
Well, thank you, Mac. I think I'll go ahead and get started and then I'll pass it over to Jeff. But I think that it's important to note that neither Jeff or I are in the financial services industry, right? We don't have any background. And what we saw initially was an amazing opportunity. But as we got into it more, we also realized that we had something amazing that we had to let people know about, because Jeff and I are both debt-free. And so we came into this really differently, and we were really like, I guess you'd say, ignorance on fire, right? Because we just wanted so badly for people to be debt-free, and we wanted them to know that we had some way to make that all possible. So that's how we started. It was all about how can we educate as many people as we possibly can. And along the way, we started to develop a really great team. But I think the key for us was in discovering that the very best way for someone to learn about the Money Max account was doing their own analysis. I mean, videos are great, but there's just nothing like seeing the results with your own numbers. And when we educated the client through that analysis process, there was really no selling involved. We just get to the end of the analysis. In many cases, they were saying, how can we get started? So then as we started to share that, we said, okay, what can we do with these new agents? And we recognized that there's only 6 weeks for them to reach the 32-1. So our focus with the new agent was to turn them into great inviters and allow them to begin the training on the job. We wanted them to listen as we did the analysis with their clients. We wanted them to see, you know, exactly how excited we were and how educating people basically led to the sale. So instead of learning which video to use or spending those initial days on training calls, we simply trained on how to add a prospect and how to set an appointment on our calendars. Then we helped them to develop their invitation, and that, you know, just goes something like, do you have a mortgage or other debt? Well, then I have something you're going to want to see. You know how technology has totally changed everything in our lives? Well, now there's a technology that can guide you from wherever you are to being totally debt-free in as little as 5 to 7 years mathematically. And that's without even changing your budget. It's kind of like a GPS. It simply shows you the fastest path. And every time you make a dollar or spend a dollar, it reroutes you to keep you on track. I'm seeing people saving hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt interest, paying off their debt in record time. Now, I don't know what it would do for you, but I can arrange for you to have your own analysis session where you'll learn how fast you can be debt-free and how much you can save. So that was the whole thing. How can we just help our agents to become great inviters and get them to that analysis process so that then they could, you know, be with us and they can earn money really quickly. So those early training sections just focused on how to listen to the client and how to demonstrate how the Money Max account was perfect for that client. Then we could fill in the other training caps as we went. So we kind of turned things around because, frankly, we didn't know what we were doing, but we knew what was working for us. And what I think really helped is this kept that new agent from getting stuck in the getting ready to get started spot and got them really fully engaged in the process very quickly. So I really don't know what else it is that we did, but I really believe that we believe so much in that analysis presentation, and that made all the difference. And I'll just turn it over to Jeff so he can kind of elaborate on that.
Well, I think Debbie summarized it perfectly, but I thought it was interesting when we got the email from Mac, it said, quote, these leaders all had a plan and were able to execute it. So I called Debbie right away and said, hey, what was our plan? Because it's just, the purpose of saying that is that I think if we had had a plan and we had been hell-bent on sticking to it, we never would have achieved this FEP goal. I think how we actually achieved it was remaining completely open and fluid and maneuverable and supportive above and beyond everything else. It's kind of the old 80-20 rule. You know, we kind of supported those doing the doing. You know, we just went along with them. And, you know, if you're just asking, you know, what is the secret sauce? Debbie mentioned it. It's know how to do an analysis forwards, backwards, and every other way possible. You know, your sales skills are only going to get you so far, but a thorough analysis demonstrating to the client their current situation and subsequently how quickly that can change for them will be what pushes your close ratio to 70 or 80 or even 90%. You know, you've got to learn how and then perform a stellar analysis. And then I'm going to interject this, and it might be controversial, but if they're ready to buy, let them buy. Let them buy. Okay, so this is a really interesting program. This is not about, you know, us, it's about them. You know, you've got, you know, when we do analysis, we probe. You know, we find out who they are and what their needs are. You know, you're not there for data input only and then give them results. You know, it kind of goes back to the whole personality traits, the choleric, the sanguine, the melancholy, the phlegmatics. You know, find out what they are and cater to that right away. It doesn't take very long to determine, you know, what they really need from you. And then, you know, do those probing questions. One of the ones we always use, and it makes a world of difference during the thing, I'm just going to provide this little nugget here real quick, is what would it look like if you had an extra $1,000 monthly? Would that mean something to you? Everybody says yes. And there's two different places in the analysis where you can demonstrate to them just by making the right financial decision, by getting this program, that they're going to make more than that immediately without having to leave their family, without having to get a second job or anything like that. It's absolutely amazing. You know, it's just incredible. People are not financially literate out there. This is all about, like Debbie said, educating them. It is absolutely imperative that you just educate them, show them their current situation in detail, and then show them what it can look like in very, very short order by having this program available.
Okay, hey, great job, guys. Hey, look, whatever's on your mind, whatever you feel like you want to say, like these things, what you feel has helped your organization, helped you build your team, helped you build confidence in your people. These little nuggets are really important to everyone. So we appreciate all your efforts, all the hard work that you guys do. We know that you're very committed and very dedicated to UFF and our future and where we're going. And I'll tell you, I mean, these guys are going to make incredible income over the next couple of years, and we're just looking forward to the great things that you're going to be doing. So thank you all for everything that you do, and congratulations to you. This next lady that we're going to bring on board, Heidi Keener, I've known for a long, long time, and Heidi is one of the hardest working people that you'll probably ever meet. She's very committed. She's very dedicated. She has a plan. She knows what she wants to accomplish, what she wants to do. And she does that. She's very good at helping her people, working with her people, supporting them. And you know, when you look at the people that are making money, one of the things that they always talk about success, you know, you're successful when you help other people to make money. And so, you know, Heidi, matter of fact, she's got someone on here tonight that she's actually worked with, brought in, got working in the business that has made over $100,000. So as you begin to build other people that make that kind of money, that means that you're a real leader and you're really accomplishing things. And we appreciate all the things that Heidi does for the company and the advice and things that she participates in. So Heidi, we're going to turn the time over to you.
Heidi brought in $150,000 in total net income. And Heidi, I need you to unmute yourself because it's showing that you are muted. Or there you go, I've got Heidi now. $150,000 in income over 12 months. FEP points awarded were 2,113,805 FEP points. And Heidi, look at these numbers for your team. Total debt. This is everything loaded in on programs that you've run and sold. $288,027,596 of total debt, and your clients have paid off $12,347,428. How do those numbers make you feel, Heidi?
God, that's so cool. I love that number, Mac. Thank you, Mac and Steve, for doing that. That's a really cool number. That's something we should put in the back office for all agents to be able to see, because that really makes it real. Awesome. Well, listen, guys, I know all of us only have about 5 minutes, so I'm going to actually try and get through things pretty quick here. When Mac and Steve reached out, I kind of wanted to look more so not at why I had hit the FEP points, but why all of us on the call had. And so I'm going to give you 3 things that I think unite almost everybody on this call today about the things that the FEP point earners all have in common, and then 2 little tips for you. So the first thing that I think we all have in common is that we don't punch a time clock. I think almost all of us on this call are full-time. Now, that is not to say that you need to go full-time to be successful in this business, but as you get to the point where you're a 6-figure income earner, you want to be full-time. You're making enough income where you can leave another job and you can still support yourself. And again, I want to be very careful. I'm not recommending that people leave their jobs. I think for a lot of us on the line here, it was forced upon us, or it was something, just because of the economy in the last year that we may not have had a choice in. But we answer the phone at 11 o'clock at night. We answer the phone at 7 a.m. We don't punch a clock. There's not an end of the day. It really is a mission and not a job, not a 9-to-5 job. So it's something that we're passionate about, and I think all of us on the line take to heart and enjoy doing, as I don't even want to call it a job, because it's not, right? It's a fun career. The second thing that I would say is that all of us on the line, almost all of us at one point, either in the past or present, are insurance licensed. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to have an insurance license to be successful, but I think that shows a really great, if you're trying to stack the odds in your favor, who should you recruit? People who at one time or presently have an insurance license. Now, are any of us on the line the head of an insurance company? I don't think so. Okay. I don't think any of us ever have been. So I'm not saying that you have to go after these, quote, big fish, but people who are insurance licensed are used to selling an intangible product. They're used to talking to people about money and about finances. They think strategically. And they're just really, it's just very much in line with the culture and the mindset that they have grown up in and have developed. So I think that that's something that you may want to look at when you're bringing people on. Again, it's not to say if you're not insurance licensed, you can't be successful here, but it gives you a mindset of who you should bring in, who will have success, and therefore you will have success as well. The third thing, and guys, I think this is the biggest one, everybody on this line has a relatively large team. I don't know the numbers for everybody else. I would say at a minimum, everybody on the line has 100 people on their team. I would venture to guess everybody has at least 300 on their team, maybe even thousands. It does take a team. It is not a group effort. If I didn't have Brian Nates, Charles Carlton, Lynn Spencer, Tony Lee, all of these other people, all of these different legs producing, in addition to myself and my own base shop, I would not be here. All right. It does take a team. And so to say, I'm going to make $100,000 a year just by myself, not to say you can't do it, but let's stack the odds in our favor, right? It would be very hard as an individual. You want to have a team. And one of the things that I would kind of put a challenge out to everyone in the field right now is that we have not created as a company a GPS recruiting system. We have a GPS selling system, step by step. How do I get from, first appointment to a close? But we haven't created a GPS selling recruiting system. And I think that would be huge for someone in our company who's successful in recruiting to really bring to the rest of the field. So that is something that I think that we need to work on, but something that I think everybody on the line here does have a relatively good sized team. It does take a team of people. So those are the three things that I think we all have in common, all right? We don't punch a clock. We have a professional background, mainly in financial services, and we do have a large team. Now, 2 quick points that I'll give you, and then I'll wrap it up here. Words to the wise, and something I'm constantly working on, is managing your emotions. You are going to have highs and you are going to have lows. And my dad has always said to me, you want to not get too excited when things are going well, and you want to not get too down when things are not going well. You want to stay even keeled, and it's very hard, but it's important to your own mental self, to your ego, to the way that you present yourself to your team. You want to try and stay even and manage your emotions. All right, I would give that pointer. And the second pointer I'd give to everybody is priming the pump. It takes a while of prospecting, of talking to people, of doing appointments until things start flowing out the other end. I think too many people give up too soon. And today I was gardening. I would think of it like that. You plant something very deep into the soil and you see nothing for weeks and weeks. And then all of a sudden, a little teeny bit pokes through, right? And then it grows and it grows. And all of a sudden, you have this massive plant or this garden, okay? And it's the same way with this business. It takes a little while. And I think too many people give up when they don't see results immediately. So that would be my recommendations for tonight, and just kind of what I would suggest to everyone on the line. Hope that was helpful. And I'll turn it back over to you, Mac and Steve.
Heidi, that was fantastic. That was exactly what we were looking for. By the way, Heidi, congratulations. I mean, those numbers, when I was putting these numbers on each person's slide, just blew me away. I was getting giddy looking at these numbers. But thank you for all your hard work, your effort, your leadership, everything you've done. You've been integral to the success of the company, and we truly appreciate everything that you've done. All right, our next gentleman is going to be Mr. Brian Nates. And Mr. Brian Nates, if you could go ahead and unmute yourself. And Mr. Brian Nates hails out of Zionsville, Indiana. He was around like Heidi Keener was back in the days of United First Financial, which quite a few of these people were. And Brian Nates is somebody that we've come to know in the company and have great respect for, and does just phenomenal business, one of the best trainers I've seen when he puts his mind to training. And he qualified in the 12-month period with commissions earned of $152,000 in total commissions earned. His FEP points awarded of $1,892,638. And I love all those numbers, but I am still just taken by these numbers. Brian, your team total debt is $157,852,416 of debt that you are helping your clients pay off. And your clients have currently paid off $5,908,903. How do you feel about that, Brian?
That's the best part. That's so awesome. Oh, man, that is just so cool. And like Heidi said, that would be so cool to see that in our back office. Or get
I'm already on it. I'm just letting you know I'm already on it.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. So, I was thinking through this, and I thought I wanted to share something that I felt like it was a good way to talk through this. Some people that are leaders in this organization may be smarter than me. They may be more about processing, more about economics, etc. But what I know is, without a doubt, a reason that an organization like this does so well. And if you lead this way, we'll have a absolutely great opportunity to have success. And that's lead from the heart and focus on the mission and the why. It's just fact. Mission-focused entities, they typically do very, very well. What I love about you guys at the home office, what I love about the leaders in the field, we never sit there and talk about how much money we're making and the cars, and everyone knows what I'm talking about, right? We literally focus on the impact of what this program does and the mission and vision of what we're about. And I think that is so much bigger than anyone on this call, okay? It is a fact, especially in today's world, debt crushes people. It destroys families. It cripples people's decision-making, their legacies, their dreams. If you really feel, and I guess that's the first question I'm going to ask everyone and challenge everybody on this call and in the field, that you have the cure for cancer, and in our case, it's financial cancer. If you really feel that, if it's really silently killing our future and our dreams, if we're not really understanding the true ramifications of our decisions financially and how it affects our future, why, if you know this is the cure for financial cancer, so that's the first challenge, do you really believe that? And if you really believe that, how come others don't know about it from you yet? Because if you saw someone suffering from cancer and you had the cure for cancer, you'd be telling them about it. So if you really believe in this program, which I do wholeheartedly, and that's the way I lead, and that's the way I challenge my agents, then why, if you know it's the cure and you feel it's the cure, we need to share it with as many possible people as we can and make a difference for them and make an impact for them, not just for today, but for their future, okay? So understand the real value, the lifelong value of what this program is, and we have the way to give that to them and let them understand that they can even be part of something bigger than themselves and have a tool and a program and a coaching that allows them to understand the cause and the effect of every single financial decision that they're ever going to have to make before they even have to make that. And I'm going to credit Max Saunders for that, because in 2006, and I get chills thinking about that, but the first time I saw him do the demo, it just resonated with me. And it made me realize, holy cow, the power that we have, it's not just about debt elimination. It is about being engaged and making the right choices for the betterment of our future and our family and our legacy and our debt and our, everything that has to do with your future. Okay? So that being said, are you a part of that culture? Are you engaged in it? I mean, literally, let it ooze from you. Let people understand that you care. I'm going to challenge, there's people on this call right now that have bought the Money Max account and are not using it. So if you bought something and you let it sit somewhere and not using it, how in the world can you answer objections if you're not using the program yourself? How in the world can you be engaged and be truly a part of the culture if you're not using the program yourself? Now, I understand if you can't, but I'm talking about those that have already bought the system. I sure hope you're actually using it, okay? Why that's important? In your presentations, in your meetings, you're going to share these examples. It's going to be real, right? You're going to have personal things that actually happen, real stories, and your people can truly feel that. So what I'll say to that is create a culture of Money Max account users, not just purchasers. Do you check on your clients? Do you check on your agents? Do you help guide them? Do you help do a coaching session with them if they need it? Okay? And so for a second, I'm going over 5 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm going to go through this. But for a second, there's something that I think is so important when trying to build this business. We've all heard this before, but I don't think we put this in action enough. And if you have a piece of paper, we've done this little exercise, but it's so real, and I hope it resonates with just one person tonight. On a piece of paper, if you have it in front of you, really big, write the word Y, W-H-Y. And then tiny on the bottom right-hand corner of the paper, write how, H-O-W. And what that means is just a reminder to you. I actually have it on my desk. It's a reminder that if your why is big enough, if your purpose is big enough, the how is irrelevant. The how means you're going to, like Heidi said, you're going to work those extra hours. You're going to be driven for the purpose of what you're doing. So with that being said, when your why is clear and you know what you want to be a part of and you know that you're a part of something better than yourselves, then goals matter. And with goals, activity matters. So I'm going to challenge everyone. There's so many people on this call right now that, you know what? Do you even reach out to one person a day, one new person a day about the Money Max account, whether it's for recruiting them or selling to recruit or recruiting to sell? Do you even do that? And if you don't, let that be your first goal, one new person a day. Okay, that's 30 new people a month, by the way. So you want them watching videos, you want them engaging, right? So we're saying, Mac and Steve, that we want to make $100,000 of income and full-time income yet. People want to work 2 hours a week on this. I want you to think about that. We want to make $100,000 of income, but they want to work 2 hours a week. Is that really the activity needed to the goal of $100,000? So break that down. What should your daily activity be? Weekly, monthly, quarterly? Commit, I'll be blunt, commit to that 6-month path to executive director. And for those that have hit the executive director, do it again. Over and over and over again. Recreate a 6-month path for yourself to executive director. You want to know why? Because then you're going to have other executive directors doing the same exact thing. You want to focus on certain incomes by a certain date. Your team size, what level do you want to be at? What bonus pools do you want to hit? I mean, every month Heidi and I are talking about that, right? So focus on things like even pouring into your team. Put that down. Write it down. And lastly, what I'll say on this is really know the difference. And some of you know this and some of you don't. But I've been in sales leadership and organizational leadership for a while. And so I'm going to say this. Know the difference between working in your business versus working on your business. And my suggestion is you do a little bit of both every single day. So what does that mean? Well, in your business, direct income producing activity, making calls, sending videos, having appointments, training sales, closing sales, recruiting appointments, answering questions and stuff. There's many hats associated with that. On your business is the indirect income that comes from these activities. So great examples, strategy sessions with Heidi that I have sometimes, or some big picture planning, getting some more education, learning on your own how to present this, what to say, how to say it, getting CE if you need education for insurance and stuff, right? Meeting with mentors even. That's on your business. They're going to help and coach and guide you. I think everybody should have a mentor. Hands up, right? And then last thing, leadership matters. Leadership absolutely matters. Be that servant leader, hold people accountable, and make a difference for people and be part of the mission in a very, very big way. And I know I went over, so I apologize, but that's all I got.
Hey, Brian, thanks a lot. Appreciate your words of wisdom. And, Brian's an example. I was sharing a while ago that, you're successful when you help other people be successful. Brian is in Heidi's organization. And so, producing other successful people. And I know that that's on Brian's plate himself, that he wants to produce other successful people. So thanks for those words of wisdom. And folks, if you see these numbers about the debt and how much people have paid off in correlation to income, you're going to see that as all of these people's incomes begin to grow and move, you're going to see the result of that are those, hey, how many people am I helping? And that's what's so important about those numbers. So thanks, Brian. We appreciate everything that you do, my friend. This lady right here, I'm going to tell you what, she has got, you heard from her last week, but we're so excited about Joan and what she's doing because she's really got some things really turned on right now. She's got some good things happening. Her team is moving. She's got people making money. She's making money. You're going to be amazed at what she's actually done for people in paying off their debt. It's been unbelievable. So in that 12-month period, Joan has made over $111,600. So we're proud of her for that. And Her income is continuing to go up. Her FEP points that have been awarded is 1,477,581. So congratulations on that. And here's a big deal. Y'all pay attention to this, okay? She has helped. She's a field partner. The total debt that she's helping to manage is $337,056,956. And her clients have paid off, listen to this number, $26,750,000. That's amazing. And just to help people in doing what you're doing has got to be so gratifying. So, Joan Hockenstein, we're going to turn the next 5 minutes over to you. So thank you for all you're doing, and the time is yours.
Thank you so very much. And wow, what a number. We've helped pay down $26 million. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible. My goodness gracious. So
I had to check the number 3 times, Joan. I'm being serious. It freaked me out.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, that's just a lot of people. That's a lot of money that we've helped people pay down. That's incredible. So thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing to me. So now how do we do it? Well, I hate to say this, but there's nothing special about me. And I am grateful my husband's not in the room because I don't want him to hear that. But the reality is there's really nothing special about me. So it's kind of looking back and saying, okay, what are some of my habits? What are the things that I do on a regular basis to really work this business? And so there were really 6 main things that kind of came to mind. Number 1 is I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. I am not afraid to hear the word no. And I'm not afraid to pick up the phone, and I'm certainly not afraid to start the conversation that matters. You can't be afraid to make mistakes. You can't wait until everything is perfect. Nothing ever will be perfect. And I'll tell you a little secret. The person with whom you're speaking has no idea what you were about to say. So they likely have no idea whether you messed it up or whether you said it the way you intended. It's irrelevant. People are going to move forward based on the passion, the excitement, the confidence with which you deliver your message. That's what's going to help people move forward. Not whether or not you said the right thing in the most dramatic way possible or the most in tune way possible. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Now certainly go back and look at what worked and what didn't work and adjust if and as need be. But don't be afraid to make mistakes. I'd say number 2 is treat this as a business and not as a hobby. So for me, this is my business. This is what I work. This is not a hobby. This isn't what I do when I have time for it. So I set a goal. I set a goal to make FEP. That was my focus for the last year, was to set that goal. That was what I wanted to have happen. I created a plan to make that a reaction, or to make that a reality. So I identified what needed to happen to make that. I created my monthly action plan, my weekly action plan, and my daily action plan, and then I took action. Now, did all of my action work? Oh my goodness, no. I failed miserably in many, many, many facets. And guess what? I learned from them. To me, it's not a failure if you're learning from it. So learn from it. Always look back and assess what worked, what didn't work, and adjust, tweak accordingly. But again, don't be afraid to make those mistakes. So get out there, take the action, and reassess and assess along the way. Modify if and as needed. The plan can change, but the goal needs to remain intact. Number 3 is I network on purpose and I network everywhere. Yes, we should all start with a list of people that we know. That's nothing new. I've been preaching this for years. Always start with a list of people that you know. And that's because you're going to probably make a little bit more mistakes at the beginning than what you do when you've been around for a little while. But after that, you should actually burn through that list. You should actually have worked through that list and have nobody remaining. So you need to network on purpose and network everywhere. You should be constantly building and developing your list. Your list is the start of your database, and your database is your gold. It's the number 1 asset that you have. Constantly be working and building that database. So network on purpose and network everywhere. I would also say identify your target market. With whom do you want to target? And I would say look at your current profession. You likely know the ins and the outs, the lingo, the language that's most likely spoken, what works, what's going to make them tick, what doesn't make them tick. And you can modify your presentation accordingly. So have a target market, and I would encourage you to have it be your current profession. Number 4, don't make the decision for others. Don't assume that somebody doesn't need extra money. Don't assume that this person doesn't have debt. Don't make the decision for others. A really humbling statistic is that the average person who declares bankruptcy would not have been able to, or would not have been forced to declare bankruptcy if they had an additional $200 to $250 additional income per month. Don't you believe it's your moral and ethical obligation to help that person, to say there's a solution that they could actually have that additional source of income, that they can stop themselves from foreclosing? So don't be afraid and don't make the decisions for others. And it doesn't matter how advanced a degree somebody has, how they present themselves, whether or not they're wearing Louis Vuitton. It's irrelevant. We've all had ups and downs in our lives, all of us. So don't make the decision for others. You don't know who feels like they're drowning in debt and needs the system. You don't know who needs the additional sources of income. Number 5, and this is a big one, never leave a conversation without setting up a firm follow-up appointment. Don't say, I'll get back with you in a few days. You are going to get stuck in voicemail jail. And let me tell you, voicemail jail kind of sucks. So don't get stuck in voicemail jail, and make sure you leave a conversation with a firm appointment scheduled, period. It doesn't matter if you're sending just information so that they aren't ready to run an analysis yet, they aren't ready to make a decision, but so you're going to send them information. Well, guess what? They need a deadline. People have great intentions, but they lack follow-through. Give them that deadline. They need to know when they have to have their homework completed. So have a firm follow-up. It's not, I'll give you a call on Tuesday. It's, gosh, I'm going to send you some information. Should I follow up with you on Wednesday at 4, or is Thursday at 9 a.m. better for you? And schedule that firm follow-up appointment. And number 6, be consistent and persistent with your behavior. Schedule time for your business every single day. So I just want to say, make sure let me just end it with this. If you want something you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done. So get out there and make yourself uncomfortable every single day. That's how you're going to build this business. That's how you're going to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So if you truly believe in this system and you're on the system, you've seen how it's worked and you've seen how it can help other people, to me, it is my moral and ethical obligation to share it with others. So get out there and start that conversation that matters. Make yourself uncomfortable every single day, sharing United Financial Freedom with as many people as you can. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it greatly. And wow, $26 million worth of principal we've helped pay off. That's incredible. Wow. That's just going to continue to grow. Thank you so much.
Dr. Joan, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you on the call. So proud to be working with in this business together, and just everything you mean to the field agents and to us as well. And Eric, how you doing there, buddy? I know you got to be sitting there listening. And just thank you so much, Joe. All right, moving on to our next individual. Now, people, we are going to run a little bit long tonight. There's no doubt about it. I want to hear from every single person. We tried to work it out that it was 5 minutes per person, but we're going a little long, but I think we're getting great information. And so the next individual, Mr. Charles Lenore. Now, Charles Lenore was around during the days of United First Financial as well, but had a little bit of success. And then in the past few months, he's really been turning this on. And I know that he had the goal of FEP 100,000 income earner. And in a 12-month period, he earned $111,000. He's been awarded 1,160,830 FEP points. And then here are these numbers. Now look, Charles is an executive director, and he represents $41,262,163 of total debt. And his clients have paid off $2,467,771 of principal debt. Mr. Charles Lenore, are you there where we can hear you, my friend?
I am, Mac. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What do you think of that number? And it's your 5 minutes.
Listen, that's incredible. It's all about what we are all trying to do. It's help other people get free from debt bondage. And so just looking at that is incredible. And I just can't wait to continue to try to increase all those numbers. So let me start by just saying first, thanks to Mac and Steve and Skylar and and John for being that great executive leadership that we have, and the opportunity that they've given all of us. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak for a few minutes tonight. And I want to congratulate all the agents that have achieved this goal and those future agents that will be on these future panels. I'm really humbled and honored to be able to be amongst on the side of a lot of these superstars on this panel tonight. So I hope something I say tonight inspires and motivates some of you to make the field equity program a personal goal of yours. Let me just say, I'm just a retired Army guy. All right? There's nothing special about me, and I think you've heard that from quite a few of the panelists out here. So if we can do it, and if I can do it, you definitely can do it. Okay. Let me kind of talk a little bit differently from what everybody else is talking about, but kind of give you a little specifics about what I do. All right. For me, I have a certain ritual I follow every day. I start out with a short prayer of thanks, and then I look in the mirror and I do affirmations to myself. For example, I tell myself that today I will make a difference in someone's life. I will free somebody from debt bondage today. Right? It starts like that. Then my day begins. And my day starts with reviewing my annual income goal, which drives my production, the tasks and goals that I have set for the month and the week. See, I treat the UFF opportunity like a business, not a hobby. Because if you treat it like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, you're going to get paid like a hobby. So get serious about what you're doing and establish some really well-written goals. Post them on your computer, post them in the bathroom mirror, post them wherever you can see them every day. You see, I don't deviate from my routine. Consistency. You've heard that word a few times from some of the panelists already. Consistency is the key, and I tell my team this all the time. You cannot deviate from the routine. Be consistent, all right? Now, my routine, I cut out any and everything that keeps me from being focused on my goals. For example, I limit my hours I spend on watching TV. I mean, I also get up very early when the house is quiet, and I go to bed late at times, especially if I have not accomplished my set tasks and goals for today. I use other resources like Google Calendar to organize and prioritize my time. I only spend my time on money-making activities, and you heard some other folks say that. I think it was Brian who was talking about those money-making activities. See, I don't waste my time on anything that doesn't fall in that category. For example, a money-making activity for me could be writing a follow-up email or following up with a person that I've talked to, a prospect, on a phone call. Also, I don't focus on just the sales, okay? I focus and I teach my team to focus on providing education and value to the people we serve. That's what they want. Learn and get into learning some things about the amortization schedule, about the banking process, about interest, and why the MMA does what it does. And one thing that you need to do to help you with that process is make sure you have the MMA. If you don't have it, how are you going to be able to talk about it? How are you going to have a passion about it? All right, you got to get the program and use it for yourself, okay? Now, your mindset plays an important role in your success or failure. You cannot give up at the first challenge or sign of adversity. A long time ago, I was taught this phrase, and it really has helped me on those rough days. Some will, some won't, so what? In other words, there will be some days when you will experience great success. For example, everyone you talk to will want the MMA. Even people you thought wouldn't get the program actually go out and get it from you. But then there will be a lot of days when things don't go right, and people really thought would move forward, end up telling you, no, they don't want it, all right? People you thought would join your team will tell you, no, I don't want to do that. See, it's those days that your mental toughness is going to keep you going. And I've said this on previous calls, but belief makes everything possible. In order to succeed, you must first believe that you can. The only true limit to your realization of tomorrow will be your doubts of today. The only thing that stands between you and what you want in this life and with this business is the will to try it and the faith to believe that's possible. So the moment you carry the conviction of belief, in that moment your dream will become reality. Not having success you want, then start investing in yourself and work on your internal belief system. Work on your belief. Not only yourself, but the program. And like I said, the best way to believe in what we do in the program is to make sure you have it. Now, one last thing that I'll kind of leave you with, all right? You have to have an accountability partner. You have to have someone that you speak to on a daily basis that can offer you encouragement and that can push you to achieve your goals. I use one of my team members, Lorenzo. I push him and I push him, I call him and I aggravate him, I send a message, I chat with him. I make him upset with me at times because I know what he's capable of, and I hold him accountable for what he has told me he wants to do. And so if you get that accountability partner that's going to be there for you, support you in the good days and the bad days, and just hold you accountable, that's going to make a world of a difference. And I have an amazing team of people that know what this program can do for their families. And we know we're all on board. We're 100% on the crusade to share this message to help as many people as we can get out of financial bondage, right? And I've often said this to my team: for the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. So I want to give a shout out to my personal team, the Smart Money team, because they are essentially the reason why I continue to do what I do and continue to push when I need to push. So in part, I'll just leave you with 3 tips. Develop a routine and be consistent, set goals, and make sure you find an accountability partner. Somebody's going to push you to get promoted, push you to make the sales, push you to be the best version of yourself. And that's all I got, guys.
Hey, Charles, that's fantastic. You know, we get so excited every time we see your name. You're always on the leaders bulletins. You're always doing something. You always have activity. You're making income. You're helping people. I know this year, I know I personally gave you a challenge to really build yourself a really big team, because I think you're an incredible leader. I think you're a person that really teaches and gets involved in other people's lives. And so I think that you really, the sky is the limit, truly, for you and your income and what you can do. And I know that you'll attract great people. And so just, you know, as you build your team, I think you'll just be one of our great leaders, and we appreciate you. Hey, this next guy, I'll tell you what, you talk about, unless you know Dave Weiner, and I've known Dave a long, long time, it's hard to know how hard a worker this guy is. I'm telling you, he's so committed, so dedicated. You know, he's done some special things, and Dave has some trials in his life, but I'm going to tell you what, he never complains, he never gripes, he just works through any challenges that he might have, and he moves forward. He wants to be somebody so bad, and he is somebody. He really, truly is, but he believes in that. He's made an incredible income. He's made $247,000 in the last 12 months, and he has just got tremendous business. His FEP points awarded are 2,954,296. He's currently a managing executive director. He is very, very close to being a field partner. Total debt, $190,119,954. Clients that he's paid off their debt is $7,521,461. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to see some huge numbers in the next several months from Dave. He's got an incredible partner, his wife Tina. They work well together. They work hard together. So, Dave, we're going to turn the time over to you, and appreciate you being on the call.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Thanks, Mac. As you know, this week has nothing short of challenges. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, we agree.
I mean, this week's been borderline the most insane week of my career. 3 times I thought I had the energy to step back in the saddle. And I just want to share this past week and what it takes, or what people probably shouldn't even do in some aspects. But Wednesday, it was Tuesday, and Mac was going to do this call last Tuesday, and he called me up, and I couldn't even take in a deep gulp of breath. I was shivering. I had the shakes. And I said, Mac, I don't think I'm going to be capable of doing the call tonight. And, well, Mac heard me. He was extremely concerned. So I got on a video conference with my doctor, and they urged me to go get tested. And I go get this test done that night, and I was really excited. I was negative COVID, which I was worried that I was going to be COVID. I was negative flu, but I was positive in that moment with strep throat, which is, but that's better than getting COVID, obviously. So I took kind of work from home the next day, and fought it. I kept trying to do my meetings and stuff of that nature. And I was back in the office by Friday morning. And basically, bottom line was I was rocking Friday morning with our team, everything. And by Friday afternoon, I was in excruciating pain. And I had to go back to the ER. This is Wednesday to Friday. And they do some tests, and they come back and say, you've got a staph infection. By Saturday morning, totally broke out. I reacted so bad to the 2 antibiotics, it was not even funny. And by Monday morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, mind you, I wake up again in excruciating pain, try to go to the office, try to start my meeting, fell apart, couldn't do it, did not have the energy enough, and went 8:10 in the morning to the ER again, and the doctor, they go do some more tests, they do a CAT scan, they go, oh, we're going to add a third thing to your issues for 1 week. You got a kidney stone you're passing. I go, what? But needless to say, today, here we are a day outside of that. It's Tuesday. I was back in the office. I did several installs for our team today. We're working. And what I want to talk about is just the one thing that's been the key to us is we have a dedication to doing everything. And when I look at this number right there, we've been studying this number, and I cannot believe we actually have this number. I cannot tell you how excited I am to see $190 million on the piece of paper for 504 sales that we did in the last 12 months. And that might have, to me, that money actually, all of it in the next 7, 8, 9 years has to go through the process. The $190 million, they've got to earn it. They have to put it through the offset account. And then the Money Max account dictates it to go towards paying off the debt. That number for 14 months of work is an extraordinary number, and yet it's one tiny step, literally one tiny little step in where we're physically going. And guess what? Where we're going to the future, I got to tell you, there is going to be a day very soon where we're at not 500 cases in a 14-month time frame. I see ourselves within 90 days doing 250 of these a month. And I told that to Steve the other day, and I says, that is 3,000 clients. That is, if I multiply that properly with this number right here, 6 times fold, that is $800 million of debt. Believe me, that can be done in 1 year. And if you multiply that by a 10-year time frame, that's $8 billion that is going to go from our clients' hands through the offset account to being paid, to all their debts being paid off. That is, you cannot understand how excited I personally am about seeing the math at the bottom of the page. It's not an inside joke with our group, but if you're sitting here today and you're sitting in this meeting today, like I tell our team every day, it starts with baby steps. When you have 25 clients that you've helped that are actually working their program, that you're servicing, you're mentoring, you're on your way. When you have done 100 clients, what can I say? 100 clients. Maybe it takes you 2 years. Maybe it takes you 6 months. Maybe it takes you a year. Not only have you been extraordinary for your client, but you've changed your life. And with the things that UFF is going to launch over the next few months, that magic number of 100 is probably going to be the biggest number of your entire life. Folks, we have that chance to be that extraordinary in the next 12 months. As far as me and Tina, the biggest challenge we had non-health-wise was being told by the people that we work with that they didn't want us to do UFF anymore. And we had to make the most courageous decision of our entire lives. And this was last November. Do we stay with UFF or do we change our course of destiny? And I told the people that we had worked with for 30 years, there was no way in the world we would give this up, ever. It's too important for the people, and it's too important for us. Thank you, Steve and Mac, for allowing me to find some energy here at the end of the day, and we'll see you all in the winner's circle.
Dave, tenacity is what comes to mind every time I have a conversation with you, and every time I'm dealing with you. I hope you get to feeling better. Tell Tina that we love her, and just take some rest, man. I would have taken a bow out if you needed it tonight, but I know that's not your style. So thank you for jumping on the phone. Thank you for the great words of wisdom, and just keep banging it, Dave. I know you're going to hit your goals. Just keep going. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, next person, Harry and Darlene Preston out of Columbia, South Carolina. Harry and Darlene, again, been around ever since the United Financial Freedom days. And Darlene, to me, is one of the most dogged individuals I've ever met. She's a hard worker. She stays to a plan of action, but she's very organic in how she does her business and how that all comes to bear. Darlene and Harry have managed to earn $105,000 in commissions in the 12-month period. Their FEP points awarded at $1,360,471. And for Darlene and Harry and their team, they represent as field partners $124,267,526 in total debt elimination. And their clients have paid off $8,594,299. Great job, Harry and Darlene. It is now your mic. What do you think of those numbers and what got you where you are?
Well, hello, everyone.
Good evening.
We're both here tonight, and this is phenomenal to be able to be on this call. We do appreciate being, able to speak for a little while again. So first of all, thank you for having this special challenge. And I want to commend and congratulate the rest of the winners the performers, earners of the FEP membership here for the first group out. Lots of phenomenal information was shared today, and on the call, I know some people listening in might be overwhelmed, but as long as I've been around, as Max said, been around since the beginning of the times here, I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes still. It's important that we take notes. We started out with people talking, with the winners talking about understanding the need. Why do we need this program and why do we use it? But we need to learn about it and we need to do something. We need to teach it and we need to do something. Heidi talked about something that was really great. You see the point that you're working, but it just doesn't pop up there. You just don't see it right away. But then down the road there, it starts to take effect. We need to look at that because it doesn't always happen right away. It doesn't always appear. But we have to stay the course. We have to stay focused. And Brian had great message, staying focused, staying on message and mission. And the fact is that our vision and our passion will drive us because we know that debt hurts people. But we have the answers. We have the answers that our people are looking for. So always remember your why, but also learn how to make it happen. So I take notes, I jot down things, and then I make them my own as far as how will it make me get there. Joan talked about something we all know. There's always mistakes out there. There's always going to be no's. There's always times we can't reach our goal that we personally set. But as long as you have that plan, as she's saying, sometimes it does change. But follow the goal that you have. What's the end in mind? Where are you trying to get? What are you trying to do? Those goals, being consistent, being persistent. Some people won't listen. Some people will. And I was so happy to listen to Charles and that he was here, that mental strength, that mental fortitude, keeping that routine and goals. And I want to take a moment at this moment to thank Charles. Charles was one of those people at the very end of this 12 months that called me, and he said, Darlene, how are you? And I said, well, I'm not really sure, Charles. We're having a push moment here, no sleep. And he gave me the strength in the sense of his words. He gave me extra strength for Harry and I to push through. So thank you. A personal thanks to Charles for reaching out across the lines of business and teams and gave me that extra encouragement. I want everybody to consider this. You had to have heard this before. If you give yourself 30 days to clean your home, it'll take you the 30 days. If you give yourself 3 hours, it'll take 3 hours. The same applies to your goals and your ambitions and potential. You can create a new life by creating the uniqueness and the urgency that will allow you to create your goal and achieve your goal. So take the information that's there and consider that if you want something that you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done. You have to get out of your comfort zone. Forget that box that people say, look at, think outside the box. Forget about thinking outside the box. Just be outside the box and forget about that silly old box. What are you willing to do? What do you want to achieve? Have you written down your goals? Have you focused on your goals? You stay true to your track. You're not sure sometimes on how to get there? Think of this. Start by what's necessary, and then, you know what? Do what's possible. And before you know it, doing the impossible will happen. I think about the obstacles that we all have in all of our business, some shared on the call today. And I do know Dave has had not only physical challenges and personal challenges, but what I heard him say, challenges are fine. I'm keeping on path. I'm going to stay the course, and I'm going to keep on going. That's what I heard from that. And that endurance will allow you and others in your team and others on this call to do the same and to take those obstacles that are in our way and just have them as a stepping stone to get to the next level. And I always think about this, that either I will find a way or I'll make a way. How much determination do you have to allow you to get to where you need to be? I truly believe that we must keep on going as long as our heart keeps true to what we're all about. What is it that we have in our hands? What are we sharing? I believe that we will succeed. We will win the desires and all the things that we have. We will make it there. But the urgency to reach them will allow us to reach our full potential. And so consider, what is it that if you could change the world, guys, what would you change? If you can make a difference, think about it. What would you do? If you could live your dreams and share those with others, what would you share? How would you allow your dreams to help another person? How would you make a difference in someone else's life and also achieve your goals? We have it in our hands. We have this business, this product, this dream. Look at the numbers that you have seen on all the screens prior to us tonight. Look at the numbers that are there. How many people we have paid off. And this is just the start. Think about all the others that are in this group think about all the others that are on this call that are getting there, that are working on it. It's our job, each one of us, to talk to someone else and give them that encouragement. Help another person realize what's in their hand. Look how much clients have saved, and look how much we can do. I love the fact that Dave said that the future, picture the future and see it. I see it. Do you see it? It's there for you. Consider these last words here. Decide, commit, focus, and succeed. You can accomplish it, but you need to take that step and find out what you need to do and do it. So thank you for allowing us to be here. Congratulations, everyone that has earned these FEP points. I'm looking for great things for all of us in the future.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey, thank y'all. Thank y'all. We really appreciate everything that all your hard work and all your efforts that you put in on a daily basis. And we know that you guys have really made a commitment to UFF. You've been here for many, many years, and you've done a fantastic job. And thanks for all that you do. Hey, you guys want to hang in there for another just a few more minutes, because these next couple of people that we have speaking. Look, all of these people can say one thing that might change your life, that might change your business. And so hey, we appreciate everybody that's hanging in there with us. But this is some exciting news that we got to share with you. Hey, our next couple of guys here, Rich Schaefer and Greg McCullough. Look, these guys are just fantastic. Rich and I, we've known each other for probably 15, 16 years now. Not a better leader, not a better guy, not a guy who's more committed to helping people, very loyal, just an extremely hardworking, committed, dedicated person. Greg is also the same type of individual. I mean, he loves helping people. He loves seeing people get out of debt. He loves creating and helping the company to move forward, as well as to help people that are in the company to move forward. These guys have done a fantastic job. Their potential income and all the things that they're doing is going to be unlimited, no doubt. So in the last 12 months, you'll put that for me. In the last 12 months, they've earned over $154,000, and that is just merely the tip of the iceberg. $154,000 in income, FEP points, 2,071,942, and their current rank are field partners, and total debt is $164,791,216. Their clients have paid off $7 million in debt. What an incredible, fantastic job, and we appreciate you guys more than we can tell you. So we're going to turn the time over to you for the next few minutes and share with us what's on your mind.
Thanks, Steve. I really do appreciate it. For time purposes, I'll try to keep this condensed, because honestly, most of the great information, truly was shared by other individuals on this call. And, it's really an honor to be a part of this group. And I think it's probably even a little bit more personal to me in some respects than maybe perhaps anybody else that even spoke here today. And that's simply because, there wasn't a bigger advocate in this company, an endorser for FEP points than myself. It's probably a drum I've been beating since we started in our first year in business back in 2007. And it wasn't just because it would be a great opportunity for us, right? It's because it allowed us to be able to make a decision that this was going to be the career we were going to choose, right? This was going to be our last stop. And one of the reasons that I really, truly advocated so heavily for it was because the truth is there's a lot of things in America that if you're hardworking and capable, you can do to make a lot of money. But there's not many things where you have a chance that could be real, legitimate, bona fide exit strategy, retirement level income. And, what we do for the consumer, it goes without saying. It's incredible. I love this graphics. I echo what Heidi said. I mean, I can't wait to see this as something we can track on a regular basis, because the bigger impact that we're able to make, obviously, it's a given that that's going to make us successful. Our goal, Greg and I have talked about, is to develop, 10 million equity points, because we want to have a chance not only to make the difference for our clients, but also our families and our future generations as well. It's the greatest oxygen mask example in the world. You hear every time you get on a plane. Be reminded to put the oxygen mask on yourself first, or you won't be in a position to help anybody, including yourself. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. A couple of things that I'm going to isolate that might be a little bit similar, but a little bit unique to perhaps some of those that spoke. And I'm going to say this, and I hope if there was more time, I could probably disclaim it in a more palatable way, but I'm just going to shoot it at you straight. You've got to give up the need to be liked and popular. It is a very difficult thing to win in America. It's hard to be a parent. It's hard to be a coach. It is hard to put yourself in a position where you can do great things in the world while simultaneously being obsessed with how it looks, how it sounds, how it feels, who might like it, might not like it. We live in an obsessed world, especially in the younger generation, where everything is based on how many people like it or how much validation did I get for it. And it's great to be liked. We all know that. It feels good. It's kind of a warm, fuzzy feeling. But the truth of the matter is you've got to be willing to give that up. I don't mean go out there and purposely do things to make people angry, but you've got to be willing to actually pay a big price. And part of that price sometimes is the willingness not to be viewed as being so popular and being liked. You know, Brian Nate's talked about something that really resonates with me. You know, being on a mission and having a strong passion is important. We don't talk about that enough. And because Crusaders work harder and they die even harder. And we want to develop more of that crusading spirit, right? It's all about cultivating and fostering an environment and a culture that is designed for people to compete and to win. I think competing is one of the most important things you can do. Now, this doesn't mean that you're actually comparing yourself to other people. Maybe the only person you're competing with is yourself, but there isn't anybody that's done anything great in the world that has not done so by being willing to compete. You know, I'm watching Dave Weiner's points and I'm automatically realizing that he's made about $1,700 more a week than we have. And that burns my butt like you have no idea. You see, it's all about having that competitive spirit because it makes us better. It makes us stretch. It makes us grow. It makes us be more successful. A couple of other points that I think are incredibly important. Listen, you can be spare time in our business. Most of our agents are. And I applaud you for that. And it's definitely puts you in a direction to make choices to do other things and be more committed if you choose to be. But you cannot, I repeat, you cannot be spare time. You can't do anything great in life or in America by doing it spare time. I don't care if you want to learn a sport. I don't care if it's a language. I don't care if it's a hobby, but you are certainly not going to have an opportunity to be successful in business if you're spare time. Now, if your only goal is to randomly and haphazardly help those people along your path, there's nothing wrong with that. If your goal is just to make a little bit of more money here and there to pay off your debt or to maybe go on another vacation, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to win, make no mistake, you've got to pay a price. I don't care if you can only give this business 1 hour a week. Don't make it 59 minutes. Hold yourself accountable in a big way. As Charles talked about, be intentional, right? Have a plan that demonstrates you're doing this on purpose, not by accident. We focused very, very much on the recruiting to sell strategy. We're not recruiting for the sake of recruiting. I love the fact that we're part of a company that you don't get paid to recruit. There's no incentive, absolutely no incentive to recruit somebody unless you believe they can be successful. And isn't that how it should be? See, nobody looks at you or thinks you're looking at them like you've got dollar signs in your eyes and somehow recruiting them and they have to buy some package and that package means that you're going to get paid. Absolutely not. There is no auto ship here. We don't get paid 1 red cent to recruit somebody. You know, you don't see pictures of Bentleys and Rolexes and yachts and all these other crazy things. People walk around and, you know, fake cardboard checks across the stage. What we do is real. It makes a difference. We help people to be better stewards of their money, to budget their money, to get out of debt, get out underneath from the slavery of debt and what it does to families, what it does to lives, what it does to marriages. It is real. We've all seen it. We've all known people, many of which could have been ourselves or our families, that their lives have been destroyed because of it. 2 last points. Make no mistake, every single person that spoke here tonight works feverishly behind the scenes, not just for themselves, not just for their teams, but for the company. There is an enormous amount of energy, I assure you, that is volunteered that goes on behind the scenes to help create strategy, ideas, promotions, different tools, resources. It is exhaustive sometimes. And when it's a labor of love and it's something you're truly passionate, you make that sacrifice. Last but not least, people are going to be the thing you love most about this business and sometimes least. As Heidi said, don't let your highs be too high and your lows be too low. This is a marathon, not a sprint. I've ran 6 marathons, and I think about that a lot. And one of the most important things is, yes, you've got to train and prepare. Yes, you've got to be mentally resigned to follow through on that commitment. But there is a reason, there is a mile marker every single mile for 26 miles. And then there's that last 0.2 miles. Everybody says it's not the 26 miles that kills you, it's that last 0.2, right? But it's because you're able to access this part in your brain that says, I've gone 5 miles, I can go 5 more. I've gone 13.1, I'm halfway there, I can get the other half. Break down your success in little bite-sized pieces. Celebrate the little victories. 12 months is a long time in most people's focus, but anybody can stay focused for 90 days at a time. Be intentional and work your plan in reverse. Stay focused, make a big commitment, make sure, as Brian said, you are clear on your why, not just the why of your teammates on why they want to be successful, your clients on wanting to get out of debt. But if you don't get really, really clear on what's important to you and you decide, you make that definitive decision to make a difference where this is where you're going to plant your stake and this is where you're going to draw your line, it will never happen for you. I hope that's helpful to you guys, and we certainly wish to see many, many more people on this call in the future.
Richard Schaefer and Brad McCullough, thank you all so much. Red kind of works in the scenes, doesn't talk much. Rich kind of drives it, and I just want to thank you so much, Rich, for your words. And just, again, somebody that's been around for a long time, back in the days of United Financial Freedom, and very dedicated to the company, driven the stake in the ground. And Rich, I'm so proud of you and Greg and everything that you've accomplished, and thank you so much. All right. Very last person in the agenda. Thank you all for hanging in there with us. But we saved the biggest numbers for last. We saved probably the biggest leader in the history of United Financial Freedom as far as numbers and team and income. Would you agree with that? All right. So Tom and Sue Keener, known them for years out of Spotsylvania, Virginia. Commissions earned for the 12-month period were $385,000 in commissions. Their FEP points were 4,283,784. And look at this. Current rank is field partner. That is not a typo. Total debt, $1,056,379,221. And their clients to date have paid off $46,273,716. And Tom Keener, it is your floor and your show. And we have you there where we can hear you.
You do, I'm sure. Wow, those are incredible.
What do you think of that number, Tom? Doesn't that just almost knock you out of your seat?
That's phenomenal, isn't it? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Be nice if that was income to us. Hey, thank you guys. Awesome speakers tonight. Great information. I think I can sum this up in 2 or 3 minutes as far as what I had to share, because I really don't want to talk about how I, reached a $100,000 income earner, because it's a little different what we were able to do. But what I'd like to talk to in the next 2 or 3 minutes is simply how each of the people listening on the call, how they can get to a $100,000 income earner. And this is basically, even for new people. So let me share a couple things. And again, a little bit of meat, hopefully, for people. Obviously, when you come in, you make $900, and you're executive director, you make $1,500 per sale on average. And again, you're not, just by production numbers, you're not going to get to 100,000 income earner if you're not an executive director. So just over time, you'll get there. But again, would you rather get there faster into $100,000 club? Of course. So what you got to do is this. There's 3 ways to become an executive director. One is to become a personal producer. And that's very difficult to do, and not many people can do it. If you're going to do it, you got to have a lead system of some sort to provide, the fuel, the leads to get that done. And you're going to need about 2, on average, on a low end, or excuse me, high end, 2 sales per week if you're going to personally produce. If you're going to be a builder, much easier way of going about it, but you are dealing with people, and that can make it difficult. But you're still going to need to do 2 sales a week. But in those 2 sales a week, remember, you're field training most of the time, so you're getting half commission on that. But you're going to have people on your team that are making up a tremendous amount of difference, so you don't need to do it all yourself. Or you can go ahead and do a combination. And I've always sort of been a combination guy and lead from the field and, be a personal producer as well as a builder. And that's someone like Brian Nates. Brian Nates is and Dave Weiner. Most of the leaders on this call here, I would say virtually all of them, are the combination where they're builders and producers, okay? But here's what you need to do. You got to focus on getting to executive director within 3 to 5 months. Because, again, we're talking about making the FEP points and getting double points and making $100,000 in the first year. Make it a goal to get there in 3 to 5 months. Then once you're executive director, on the path to become an executive director, don't wait to get to that point. But as soon as you can set this up, the faster you'll get to the $100,000. And here's what it is, and it's quite simple. You need 5 to 7 legs that you help get to director. When you're able to get 5 to 7 legs to director, you will be at a $100,000 income earner, okay? As long as you're doing production as far as a combination there, or if you're basically a producer. If you're a builder and you're not a producer and you're just making sales by recruiting, then it's a slower process, okay? So you might not get there in that year period, but otherwise you will. Once you have your 5 to 7 legs, guys, then focus on getting those 5 to 7 legs to executive director. That will secure up your income, and that'll be about $250,000 a year income, and you'll be living a nice lifestyle. So that's what I wanted to share in the time frame we had, guys. Thanks. This incredible numbers. Everybody did so fantastic. I'm so proud of everybody, and thank you for letting me share tonight.
Tommy, just love having you being a part of the company, and I know Sue's probably there, and just, tell her we're with her, and, just thank you so much, Tom, for everything that you brought to the table with the company and the training and leadership that you provided, and then just what you've meant to the company as well, just being one of the partners, one of the field partners that we have out there that is doing just phenomenal things. When I looked at these numbers, Tom, it actually made me shake a little bit. It made me choke up because it really kind of solidified for me, if anyone has ever had any question of the impact and importance of what we do, if these numbers don't speak to that, I don't know what does. So, Tom, thank you very much. Steve, do you have any closing remarks?
Hey, great. Everybody, yeah, look, this is a fantastic call. We know it went a little bit long, but look, we couldn't ask for greater information, wisdom of how this company provides things for people and the great people that we have here. We're very fortunate that we have some wonderful people. We're building some wonderful leadership, and they're building wonderful leadership. And so we appreciate that and all that you do. And thanks for taking your time to share your feelings with us tonight, and for helping people get out of debt. What a great feeling we can have as a company and as a people to do what we do.
From Mac and Steve, I want to thank everybody that was on the call, everybody that participated, everybody that joined the call. For Mac and Steve, everybody from the top to the bottom here at United Financial Freedom, let's get out there and do it big. Let's get out there and do it right. But at the very least, let's get out there and do something right now. This is Mac and Steve saying bye-bye for now.
Good night, everyone.